Hey, Peter.
Hi, Caro.
So we're here today to take a look at the PS4 UI.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, I know a thing or two.
Yeah, we've got PS4s, and we just got the latest system update. I haven't really explored this yet, neither of you.
No.
So we're just going to jump in.
Yep.
It's like we just bought it, and we're going to see what we have.
It's almost like that.
It's almost like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, okay, it looks like somebody's installed Battlefield 4 and Resogun on here.
Okay.
So this main menu, I guess, it looks like a stream of games, and then a few other menus. You've got TV and video, Sony's video and music services,
Right.
internet browser, live from PlayStation. Okay, a lot of these things are kind of new to us.
Okay, so the library, games are installed on the PS4. You have to install games on the PS4.
Yes.
So is the library, I guess, a place where you can just go? Maybe games that you've played recently or installed recently are shown in the list there, like Battlefield and Resogun, and then the library is maybe where games that you haven't interacted with in a while will show up?
Well,
or?
I think the way it's set up is that any game that's completely installed, right? Because a game like Battlefield, you actually need the disc in there.
Right.
And so this has been installed, but it's not showing up in the library because I think you need, without the disc,
so
you can't actually play
downloadable
it.
games then,
Sure.
presumably, and maybe other games that are fully installed.
Maybe other media
Other
too.
media, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Live from PlayStation. Let's see what that is.
Fire it up. Ah, interesting and helpful broadcasts from around the world. Okay, so this is where, when you're streaming games, it says view everyone's broadcast. You can watch other players' gameplay in real time.
From around the world.
From around the world, yeah.
What do we have for here? Okay, there's something put on Ustream.
Yeah.
Let's see what the comments are like on this thing, how that whole system works.
Yeah, this isn't a game, a PS4 game. It's just Dust514, and he's just trying to get viewers.
What a chump.
Well, come on, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, Twitch, Ustream.
So yeah, these are a bunch of sharing features.
The built-in streaming functionality.
Yeah.
All right, so here and then there said, it just touted the option to press the share button while you're playing and for you to stream your own gameplay.
Yeah. All right, so that was live from PlayStation. So it seems to be reorganizing things based on the frequency of use.
Yeah.
So we were just in live from PlayStation, but that icon was back here.
Yeah.
Now it's up front. Let's take a look at the settings menu real quick. Well, first of all, you've got PSN up here, the shop, notifications, your friends. I don't have any friends.
Oh.
No messages either, man. I'm really unpopular. That's cool. I have a funny icon, so. Right, let's get into settings. Let's see what we got to play with.
Okay.
User guide is kind of uninteresting. Data handling, health and safety.
Standards.
Standard
stuff.
All right, PSN here. Kind of like the PlayStation 3, it seems that every PlayStation 4 is either activated as a primary or a secondary system.
Right, and obviously you only have access to certain things, presumably on your primary PS4.
Yes. Jumping into the other linked services menu, I'm not really sure what it's going to link to. I think, so Facebook, Twitter, perhaps even things like Netflix and Hulu when those are installed. Okay. Typical things like notifications and login settings. You can change what's shown to you here.
Right.
Here you can tell you, log in
Yeah.
automatically, face recognition.
Ooh, but so that's obviously with the camera, PS4 camera, which I saw when you were doing the initial setup. It asks like, if put in the PS4 camera now, or if you want to skip this step, you can skip it.
We're gonna jump into this stuff with more in-depth coverage in the next day or so. Right now, we're just kind of giving you guys a look at what we have. Parents out there, there are parental controls. You can restrict the type of applications that are run, Blu-ray discs with certain ratings. Okay, system storage management. So right here we're looking at a 500 gig hard drive.
Yeah.
The applications that are installed at this point include Battlefield 4 and Resogun. So that's taking up about 35 gigs. Resogun is only about 400, so a large part of that is Battlefield.
Yeah, PlayStation app connection settings. So
well, let's jump in.
Yeah.
So I believe this is coming out today or in the next couple days, and you can link this with your the PS4 with your Android phone, your iPhone, and navigate the PSN shop. I think perhaps navigate the system UI, although I'm not positive. There are a few of those things coming down the road. So here we go, the PS Vita connection.
Yeah.
This is a little bit wonky at the moment. We weren't able to get it working. But when you connect it to a Vita, you can do one of two things. You can either use it as a second screen, which is sort of an addition to the display on your TV.
Yeah.
Or you can use it for remote play, which allows you to play PS4 games or other PSN content on your Vita.
Right.
Although all the processing is handled on the PS4, the video signal and the controls are carried over Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Video playback settings. So interesting thing about this, Sony's been pretty coy about the sort of files that you can play, and like, you know, I know you can't do MP3s, which aren't video, but it's media that you are basically restricted from using. So we'll be curious to test this out in the next coming days as well. So devices. So here we go. Here's the DualShock I'm using. I know Sony has opted for wired headsets, and I know it's going to take them a little bit to get up to speed with the Bluetooth headsets that were made so popular with the PS3. Those will probably fall under audio devices. You can hook up a keyboard, which is good. It's good to know. All right. Languages. Hey, it's important. It's important. It's important. So as you can see,
an assortment of languages.
an assortment of popular dialects and languages for you to choose
from around the world.
All right. So we are running system software 1.5 right now. I believe the system ships with 1.01.
Okay, so there's a kind of mandatory system update when you...
Mandatory if you want to get the most out of your PlayStation 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right, well that about does it for the system settings.
Yeah. Got your trophies there.
Yep, yep.
Of course, so you're signing this, obviously your account carried over from the PS3 era.
Correct.
So you can see that activity in there
and
as well.
I almost never play my PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
So I have
you do play some Motorbike though. I mean, that's that's a game we should all spend some time with.
NEX Troopers, for those who care or even know what that is. Nobody. All right, let's jump into the PSN store.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Very similar at first glance to what you see on the PS3. You have these large icons, advertising, popular items.
Yeah.
As you jump into the different sections, you're going to see a lot of the same stuff. Again, these very big advertisements for games.
Of course, PlayStation Plus.
Yeah. So here are some of the titles that are cross-platform at the moment, and a lot of these have specials where you can upgrade for.
Okay, see
for
that's a
$9.99.
nice feature because I was sort of thinking really like Injustice. Who really cares about that as a PS4 title? But I guess players who have invested a certain amount of time with it already on the PS3, that this might be an attractive option for them.
Exactly, and the same goes for Assassin's Creed, for Call of Duty Ghosts, and Battlefield 4.
Yeah, great.
All right, so here are the first digital updates. A lot of these are full box retail games brought online. Then you also have things. Let's see what else we got in here.
Oh, yeah,
Angry Birds
Star Wars for just $50.
Totally worth it.
Just $50.
All right. Let's see. Free to play is interesting.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, we got Warframe.
Sure.
The sort of arena-style multiplayer.
Blacklight
shooting
Retribution.
Yes.
Fine free-to-play, PC shooter.
Yeah, and if you happen to be a member of PlayStation Plus, you also get Resogun and Contrast. I'm a huge fan of Resogun. You can check out my review. It's on our website right now. Very much enjoyed playing that game.
You can also check out my review of Contrast.
Yeah, but why?
Which I may not be quite as enthusiastic about as you were about Resogun.
Fair enough. The indie section is filled with a lot of stuff we've seen before.
Yeah.
Trine 2 and Flower are both available on the PlayStation 3, as is Sound Shapes as well.
Yeah, Sound Shapes, but still a terrific game.
Yeah. And so, that's kind of all that you have right now in the PSN store for the PlayStation 4, because a lot of the content does not carry over from the PlayStation 3. At the moment, that includes everything from PlayStation 1 games to PlayStation Minis. I mean, a lot of this stuff is kind of missing. Sony has talked a lot about bringing it into the, in the future, but it's not there yet.
Okay. So they haven't confirmed. Have they explicitly stated like, if you've bought PS1 games on the on the PlayStation 3 or the Vita, that you will be able to play them on your PS4? Do we know that for sure yet?
From everything I've heard, they've said that it's a thing that they are going to make happen.
Okay.
In regards to PlayStation 3 games that are downloadable, I'm highly suspect. PlayStation 1 games and PSN games are a little bit less taxing, and it's possible, at least in the case of PlayStation 1, that they could come up with a software emulator that would run on the PlayStation 4. But again, this is all, this is all kind of guessing on my part.
It's all speculative at this point.
Yeah, there's no telling when this will happen, and even
Sure.
if it will.
Okay, so here we have, services like Netflix.
Be it Game Time, Crunchyroll if you like your anime.
Yeah, which I know you do.
I do. And then, this is the video section where you can order lots of video at exorbitant prices. Hello, Roger. Yeah, I mean, it's the PSN store that you've seen before.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just there's a lot less content to look at right now.
Right.
But that said, it's a next-gen system, and there are next-gen games on there. And wrapping up, that's kind of what we have at the moment for the PlayStation 4 UI. It's
familiar. It's
familiar,
and it feels maybe a little empty at this point. Not quite. I mean, obviously, understandably, it's the launch, so but you're not going to see the depth of options and content at this time that you would see on the PS3.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't call it robust. It's somewhat bare bones.
Yeah.
But that said, it's an okay start. It's a fair start.
Sure.
Xbox One is a pretty good lead when it comes to functionality of the dashboard. I would like to see where Sony goes in the months to come, because they've got a lot of catching up to do, honestly. But they've got a pretty good framework, so we'll see what they have to do.
All right. Well, Peter, thanks for sitting with me to take a look at the PlayStation 4 UI.
Oh, hey, thank you.